Hey guys, welcome back to the Foolish Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Just wanted to give you my thoughts after Michigan's 66-63 victory over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And if you're a betting man, it's either a woohoo or a bad beat, man. Michigan won 66-63. And, Davis for Rutgers hit a 3 right at the buzzer. The last time I saw, the spread for the game was 5 points, so that 3 made it not a cover, if you will, only a 3-point win instead of a 6-point win. So some people are like, woohoo, others are really bad. And Scott Van Pelt likes to show those bad beats. Okay, let's talk about the game. If you watched the first half, it was crazy. Basically, the only thing people could hit for the first 6, it was like no whistles in the first half. For like the first 6 minutes, there was there was one foul called, and everyone was going up and down the court and bricks. And the only shots anyone was hitting was a dunk. No one could hit anything for a good chunk of the first 6 minutes of the game. After, at that under 16-minute timeout, which was at the 14-minute mark, Michigan had a slim lead. Another big thing that really happened in the first half was Michigan's defense, or Rutgers' offense, was ineffective, or the defense was good. I don't know which way you want to look at it. Michigan held Rutgers to 25 points in the first half. I believe that is the lowest first half total Michigan has allowed for the whole year. Now, it's not like Michigan was super defensively. Rutgers just shot horribly. In fact, I believe they hit a couple right at the end. They hit 2 3-pointers. But they were, I think, 4 in the 30s before those. So they might hit 6 out of 30-some 3-pointers in this game. And Michigan was just letting them shoot because they were missing so badly. And just, wow. So Michigan just had to weather their poor shooting. Another interesting thing that happened, though, I know I scatterbrained a little, maybe try to focus, is that Michigan got called for 6 fouls in the first half. Okay. Rutgers got called for 2 fouls in the first half. And unfortunately, Michigan's 6 fouls, 2 of them were on Trey Donaldson. He was dumb. He tried to do, if you've watched him play, he will try to just like hip check a guy right in the middle of the floor. Plain and obvious is a blocking foul. He picked up his 2nd foul doing that against Davis. And yeah, that really let Davis kind of go a little off too. And Burnett also had 2 fouls. So your 2 starting guards were both on the bench in the first half with 2 fouls. Fortunately for Michigan, they didn't pick up their 3rds and 4ths till the second half. And they weathered the storm. In fact, when Donaldson was on the bench with those 2 fouls, before he came back in, Rutgers was only able to get a 13 to 11 point advantage with him on the bench. I got to give props. Pippen played really good. He had some nice assists in there. That's really nice to see him. I know they pointed out that he burned his red shirt. Who cares about a red shirt? This is college basketball, man. Play him. This is where playing him early, having some non-conference cupcake games where he could get in and get experience, really helps, because he was being the main ball handler for a good chunk of the game when Burnett and Trey was on the bench with foul trouble. And he did okay. He did not look like a freshman, right? So that's what you really want. That's what you want in those cupcake, those bye games to get your young guys experience. Going into the half, Michigan finally figured out, hey, why don't we get the ball to Vlad Golden? He's only, 4, 5, 6 inches taller than the guy guarding him. Well, they did it enough, and he ended up with 8 points in the first half. I believe it was Michigan's leading scorer in the first half. Danny Wolf only had 2, but that was going to change in the second half. Michigan goes up in halftime 32-25. Okay. Second half, Michigan's offense just is a complete befuddlement to me. And honestly, the color analyst for Fox was just unbearing, or couldn't fathom how Michigan was just not giving Vlad the ball. Vlad was coming off the flu. He was tired, sure, but he's out there. Give him the ball. And Michigan kept not giving it to him. He only had 6 points in the second half. And layups. I think 2 layups, 1 on an offensive rebound, 1 that actually gave him the ball down there, and then 2 on free throws. And that just was really frustrating that Michigan did not use Golden more. He was out there. He was giving the effort. And I don't understand why the offense didn't go more through him. Luckily, it seems actually to be kind of the norm if I think about it. Danny Wolf kind of took over in the second half. He finished with, I believe, 16 points, the game high for Michigan, and he got 14 of those 16 points in the second half. He got some clutch free throws down the stretch, especially when it was still one-on-ones. Oh yeah, speaking of fouls, right? There were only 8 fouls called in the first half. Only 8. Both teams were in the double bonus in the second half. So you can tell, I never understand that, how the refs suddenly decide, hey, we're going to call everything we didn't call in the first half. It's so annoying. You could see the chippiness out there a little bit. And it's just call a consistent game. I don't know why refs call it so different from the first half to the second half, but it always does. Both teams will get in the double bonus in the second half. They always do. The second half, though, Michigan was able to string together a few offensive possessions, get that lead just hovered around the 5-point, 7-point. It got up to 8. I don't think it ever hit double figures. And they were able to just milk this game away. Trouche, Rutgers hit a couple of three-pointers when the game was kind of out of reach. It's good practice for their young freshmen, too, to play it that way. But Michigan gets the win, and they get another win. They improve, I believe that's now 8-2 in the Big Ten, and now they're going to have Oregon. I hope I said it right, Oregon fans. They're going to be coming in on Wednesday for a ranked showdown. I don't know if Michigan will be ranked. I'm not saying they should be ranked. But Oregon is 16 as of the schedule showing today, and so definitely that's a chance to build your resume, Michigan. Get a big victory, got that game at home. Hopefully Vlad will be healthier. Hopefully Cheddar won't be having much impact from the flu either. Got to give some props to the bench. Pippen played good. Cheddar, Walters, those guys all contributed a total of 17 points. If you can get your bench to have over 10 points, it seemed to be the way it is. If you can get 10 points from your bench, you have a real good chance to win the game. Burnett kind of struggled again. And Gale, he did a really good job defensively, as best he could. He held leading scorer for Rutgers, Ace Bailey. I think it was 4 of 13 for the game. He was one of the main people guarding him. 4 of 13. Bailey ended up with 10 points. He had been averaging 37, I think it was, over the last few games, especially when Harper was out with his foot injury. So definitely good job by Gale and the whole Michigan team to double and force the other guys to beat you, and they couldn't do it. They just shot so horribly from 3-point range. Michigan got the win. That's really the difference, is that Michigan was able to shoot so well from 2. Oh man, again the bugaboo though. I couldn't find the official stat before I did this video, but they at least had 15 turnovers. It's probably pushing 20. And they had 18 assists, so it's like Michigan's like doing a 1-to-1 assist ratio. It's terrible. It's like if they would just take care of the ball better, you could blow these teams out. I'm watching the game next to my wife, and she's just rolling her eyes because I'm so frustrated because Michigan's just so sloppy with the ball. But they get the win. 8-2, I think, so that's win number 16, I think it is. So, okay. Another game closer to putting that obliteration by Purdue behind us. Michigan's got to get their mind focused for Oregon and see how that goes. Oregon. Hey guys, if you have any thoughts about the game, put them in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. Thanks for watching. Until I see you guys next time. As always, go blue.